Hey guys, Abbas here, and today I'll present the car-selling web app for Audi that me, Mohammed and Brian have created as Team 4 for the CO550 Web Apps module project implementation. The original design took about 2 months, and the implementation and updated changes took most of January. This web app is made using some ASP.NET Core technologies such as Razor Pages, which allows for the creation of dynamic pages that have unique functionality, brought by combining C# with HTML and Entity Framework for scaffolding CRUD pages, allowing the user to create, read, update, and delete page information. It also features an SQL Server database where records can be modified directly from these CRUD pages. We have 6 of those which range from cars, customers, orders, order items, car images, and wish lists. Although there is no authentication to handle customer and staff accounts, these pages simulate functions on a real-world e-commerce web app where products and user data are modified due to customer and staff CRUD actions in the page view. There are some car records seeded here, which means already populated with data in the database. The automatic seeding troubled us for a few weeks. It was partly fixed with some assistance from the tutor by adjusting some seed data methods and deleting records already in the database. It seemed that to seed data in this way, the database table had to be empty at first. I'll show you code to the file soon, and a link in the description will direct you to the repository we're working in. For the cars page, we can add cars, edit their details, view their details, and delete them as well. Let's start by creating a new car product. As a disclaimer, I'm not a car expert, so the data won't be correct and is for demonstration purposes. I'll do the Audi e-tron GT, which is by Audi. Oh no, come on man. Yeah, Audi. Priced at £83,000, £285. Okay. I'll leave out some fields too. Power would be 637 horsepower, torque would be, let's just say 630 Newton meters. Fuel type would be electricity. Because the data is annotated in the model, it restricts certain data types from being entered in the text fields, like a string in an integer-only input box. So I can't type any characters here, just numbers. If no data is entered, the app will prevent the creation of an item because it requires an input field. I'll add in description. Oh. I'll get rid of the pound sign. Let's do 0 to 64 seconds. We can create this new record and it will appear. This information has been saved in the database. We can edit its details from the edit CRUD page. Let's do 4 to 3.1. 3.1 seconds for 0 to 60 time. We can view its details on a separate page. We can also delete the record. So it's no longer there, and the information has been deleted from the database. The user interface looks plain because it was not worked on during the project. We focused on correcting the functionality and stability of the app over looks and advanced features such as checkout or 3D models. If we planned better or had more time, we would have progressed further. For the backend, okay, I'll now open Visual Studio and show you guys the code for this. For reference, here's the index page, which would be this page, but the cars, I'd have to go into Solution Explorer. Yeah, this would be the cars index page. We have the car model, which defines the data that we can specify for each car. So here are some familiar terms: the model name, brand, price description. We scaffolded these models into CRUD pages, which have a CSHTML file and behind code to represent the view and view model in Razor Pages, in the Razor Pages design pattern MVVM. So here's the CSHTML file, which shows up with all the car records, and that logic and database handling is done with methods in the behind code. Here, using we named it Audi context is how our database operates. What you will see comes from this page, and data handling to the database is managed here. We then added a migration to the database. So the database would be initialized with the current model and seed data where possible. This is the context, and here are some of our migrations. I think there are too many. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure when to activate a migration, but we did it when we made changes to the app in the model, or added new records. No, yeah, when we changed the model. When we updated records on the CRUD page or model, we would update the database for consistency. So we'd go into Tools, NuGet Package Manager console, and then type in update database to update the records. So in the SQL Server Object Explorer, we can view the database for cars. I just have to find it. Yeah, apologies if it takes a little while. I only have 8 gigs of RAM. I guess this is a RAM heavy task. Let's view the data. Actually, how do I open this? Asking myself these questions. I'm the professional here. I'm almost professional. I should be explaining to you guys how this works. Okay. So yeah, this is the database table with all the entries. These have all actually been seeded in the seed data, and we managed to get this to show up in the database by removing a previous car record there. Okay, I'll go back to the app. The web page. Oh yeah, so actually you can edit records directly from the database here. I'll leave it for now, but you can actually delete, you can delete a whole row and add information that way. Personally, I found this project a bit complicated as there were so many file types and processes doing different things. It's also inspiring because I learned a lot of principles and practices used in real-world software programs, which is valuable for me and will hopefully allow me to create robust and featureful apps and code. Thanks for checking this out, guys. I hope you enjoy or learned something at least.